Good evening. Change of plan. TikTok wouldn't let me go live for some reason. So here we are. Thanks for coming over. So I'm going to have to put my glass on because I've only got me in the workshop because obviously I thought I was going on TikTok. So we have Ash from Coyote Shed, Barry's Wood Turning, Todd, hi guys, Aston from Wouldn't Make Stuff, John, hi John, hi Heather, Spirit Wood and Bone, and Susie the Swiss Wood Turner. So evening, thank you very much for coming over and seeing us. Like I say, I was going to go on TikTok. I've been meaning to go on TikTok for quite a while now, but for some reason it wouldn't let me go live. Don't know why. Maybe I haven't got enough followers. I don't know. But anyway, we're here. It's going to be a quick live because Brian's got a premiere at 8 o'clock, so we're not going to be on long, just an hour or so. What I'm basically doing is just playing around in the workshop after work. Just quickly, the piece we did yesterday has had 6 coats so far. So changed the style a little bit. I didn't like the blue on the inside, so I've put black on the inside now, and just feathered the black over the edge, just so it goes from blue to black. And then that's had 6 coats of lacquer. So hopefully by the end of Thursday, that should have all its 12 coats, so that can be polished off. So looking good so far. Malcolm Douglas, hi. Nick Castle, hi. Radar Woodturner, hi. Steve Scott, hi. Of course, it's been a long while since I did this on my own. Keith Jarvis, hi. I think that's most people. So if you've got any questions while we're in the workshop, this is going to be a play around live. If you've got any questions about anything, or you want me to show you anything in the workshop, just let me know, and we will I will show you. Hi Matt. So on the lathe I have just something that this is a piece that I have used for practicing with. This is what I practiced with some stipple effect with the Joe Sonias. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that back and have a play with some different colours. I quite often keep a piece, well I've got 3 pieces this sort of size that I just use for practicing. So it's always nice to have a piece to have a play around with different styles and different colours and try different things. So that's what I use it for. Hi Steve Hale, evening. John Scarborough, how long do I leave between coats? Good question. What I do is that had 3 coats yesterday. I then left it till this morning because I didn't like that blue going inside, so I quickly rubbed it down this morning before I went to work. Done the I did with the chestnut ebonizing lacquer over the rim inside. Left it for about 35 minutes, and then I gave it 3 coats before I went to work this morning. And then I will give it 3 more. I leave it till tomorrow morning. Then what I'll do is I'll just gently Scotch Brite it up just to take the shine off of it. Then I'll give it 3 more coats tomorrow morning before I go to work, and I'll do that until I get the maximum of 12 coats. Once I've got my 12 coats, the last 2 coats will be wet coats, so it'll be a little bit more drying time in between them. Once I've got the final 2 wet coats, I will leave it between 48 and 72 hours before I polish it up. Now, when I polish it, what I normally do is I do 2 ways. If it's a really good finish and there's like a mirror finish on already, all I will use is a real fine cut and polish to cut it back. If not, what I will do is I will sand it up to about 3000 grit with wet and dry, and then I will go over it with some real fine cut and polish to make it mirror finish. So a little bit of preparation, a little bit of work, but it does work in the long run. I'm up early every day, Ash. I'm up early every day. I'm up around about between 5 and 1:30 every day. So I'm normally in the workshop. Time I get up and have a shower, have my breakfast is about anywhere 5:30, 5:45. I don't normally leave for work until around 7:30. So it gives me a bit of time to get in the workshop and have a play around before I go to work. Just gives me that enthusiasm to get up and go to work. No, not really. Right. So let's just quickly turn this off. I'm going to turn this right back. Good evening, Barry. Hope you're well. So we're going to take this right back, and then I'm going to have a play with the rainbow waxes on it. Because I really want to crack these rainbow waxes. I know we played with them the other night on the live, but I wasn't really happy on the outcome. Alright, so just got a little bit of black there. Just get rid of that. Like I say, these, I've got 3 of these pieces that I just keep for practicing with. That's all they're ever for. So we're going to sand that through to 400 grit, because obviously we're going to colour it. So I've got my back to the monitor, so I'll keep turning around. I should really turn the other monitor on so I can see while I'm at the load, but like I said, I didn't think I was going to be on YouTube. I thought I was going to be on TikTok, so I could have looked at it on my phone. So like I said, if anybody's got any questions about the equipment I use, the workshop, or any other questions while we're on a mess around live, and just ask. I'm always happy to show people or help where I can. I should do another workshop tour really, because I haven't done one in a long while. People are always interested in things like that. Ugh. So I hope everybody's had a good day. It's been a bit cooler here today, so it's been a little bit better. I think with your inertia sand, a little bit of a grease in it. So final one more. So that's sanded up to 400. Oh no, I didn't, John, but I will show you now. Pens. Let me just grab the box, and then I will show you my finished pens. If I can find a box. Don't know where the box has gone. Good question. I've got a box full of pens somewhere and I don't know where I put them. Alright, I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just going to have a look quickly. Right, I'm back. I found it. It was stuck in a box, in a box, in a box. Right, so let's go on overhead camera. No, it won't because it's not turned on. On that camera, turn the camera on. Well prepared. Right, so now we should go on overhead camera. Right, so these are the pens. These are all resin. These are the streamline pens with the wider middle. These are the slimline. And then I did some hybrids, which are the ones with the wood in them. And then I did some wooden ones as well. And again, there's two slimline ones there, and all the rest are streamline. Streamline ones are just that little bit more comfortable in your hand, especially if you've got big hands like me. So there's some walnut, mahogany, some silver, some birch. I think that's a piece of the cherry M2. So yes. So yeah, some of those are the ones I turned on that Monday Night Live. Some of these resin ones and some of these hybrids. So yeah, so there's the pens. No, you're all right, John. Not a problem at all. Actually, I didn't know they're normally in a drawer in the workshop. I didn't know that Nick had put them in the box that come back from the craft fair. So it's actually better that way because they're easier to access if I got them in the drawer. So he did me a favour, really. Right, so we've got that to sanded up to 400 grit. Now I'm going to put an ebonising lacquer over the bottom of that, just to, thank you very much Barry, just to give that, to try and enhance these rainbow waxes. So I'm going to stick some chestnut sand and sealer over that, because obviously we always seal before we put ebonising lacquer over our piece. So we'll seal that up. So if any of you guys want to just quickly share the link so we can see get a few more people in there, that would be great. Because obviously I put it that I was going on TikTok, so people are going to be looking for me on TikTok, I would imagine. But like I say, we're not going to be going very long. We're only going to be going maybe an hour, just till Brian's premiere's on. He's got a premiere at 8 o'clock tonight. So a nice coat of sand and sealer. Just going to denib that a little bit with Scotch Brite. It's always nice to have a play, practice with different colours, different things. Right, ebonising lacquer, this cupboard. So I'm going to give that a coat of chestnut ebonising lacquer, just to give me a black background. Like I said, if you've got any questions, stick Q in front of your questions so I can see that, because I'm on my own, so I obviously need to try and keep an eye on both of them. Ten and a half by 3 3/4. Nice, Douglas. Nice big platter. Right, so turn the lathe down low, turn the extraction on. Just give us a nice gentle coat of ebonising lacquer. Bit of a run in the middle there, a bit thick in the middle. Yes, I believe it is, Steve. I think it is a piece of ash. Like I say, it's been stuck on the shelf for quite a while. I just use it for practicing with more than anything. Got a little bit too thick in the middle there, but I'm not too worried about it because, like I say, it's a practice piece. Good evening, Brian. How are you? Good evening, Jack. All jacked up woodwork, Leatherworks. Evening, Scott. So now Brian's here. He can put his link in for his premiere tonight, 8 o'clock. So, obviously, people are trying to find me because someone's just messaged me saying they can't find me on Toctic. So let's see if we can just refresh that. Switch accounts. All right, there we go. Well, hopefully I'll be able to find us now. John Scarborough. Can you use any black stroke matte black? Yes, you can. A lot of people just use matte black paint or black paint. I have used black car paint before. Satin is better, I think. Satin black gives you a similar sort of finish to the Ebenezer lacquer. The only trouble is it takes a little bit longer to dry. The Ebenezer lacquer seems to dry really quick. As you can see, that's already dry, where normal paint would take a little bit longer than that. Hi Rob, how you doing? So that's dry. You can see. Got a little bit of a run in the middle there, but like I say, I'm not going to worry about that too much. So, these rainbow waxes. Let's give them a bash again and see what we can do. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to try putting them with a brush. Into this grain area here, because as you can see, there's quite a prominent grain on that. So, actually, no, I'm not. No, I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to apply them with a cloth, but I'm going to do like Emma said, the tiny turner, and use a piece of or some wax to blend them in, hopefully holding into that grain. I'd like to try and crack these rainbow waxes. The reason being is because there is some really vibrant colours with them. So I'm hoping we can get to use them properly and find out how they actually work. So we'll see how that goes. Let's just bring it over there. Right, so I'm just going to get a little tiny bit of this. I'm going to try the red, because red and black always looks nice. So I'm just going to get a little tiny bit on my cloth and rub that in there. As you can see, it dries really, really quick. I'm hoping we can use the wax to take all the remainder of the embellishing wax off. Or the rainbow, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so that's covered the piece. So I'm going to get some wax 22. Get clean tissue. And when Emma, when we did the live the other Friday, when we was trying them for the first time, Emma suggested getting a little bit of wax and using the wax to remove the excess of the rainbow waxes. The only concern I have is it going to leave white in the grain? But we'll see. Certainly does remove what we don't want though. Yeah, that's what I like about the rainbow waxes, Matt. They do some nice vibrant colours. just going to use that wax to rub that in to hopefully remove all the rainbow wax we don't want. As you can see, look at the amount of wax it's brought off. It's quite a lot. So now, hopefully we're going to buff it up and it comes out all good. Hi Donna, how you doing? So we've still got a little bit of traces of the wax, the rainbow wax, where we don't really want it. So I'm just going to give it another coat of wax 22 and see if we can just remove that final amount that we don't really want. So normally, if I use an embellishing wax, I don't normally use a wax over the top of it because sometimes you get white in the embellishing area when the wax dries. So that's my fear when we do it this way. But we will try and see what happens. Malcolm Douglas, could you use a paper towel dampened on oil to do that? I don't know. We did try using a towel with water on it because the rainbow waxes are water based, and it took all the colour completely out of the grain. And it just took it right back. So oil, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure because we've put ebonising lacquer on it. I don't know how that would affect the ebonising lacquer. So we'll see. There's another question from John Scarborough. What waxes are you using to remove the excess? I'm using wax 22, mate. Chestnut Products wax 22, just to remove the excess. So we're just going to buff this up and we'll see what it looks like. So actually, that looks quite nice with that red in there. It's a real prominent red. And like I say, with the wax 22, that's really took the wax we didn't want out. So yeah, it looks good. Looks good. So let's be adventurous and let's try and put another colour beside it or in certain places and highlight certain places. So I'm going to go with, what colour is this one? This one is sea base, aqua blue. So just see if we can get some hints of aqua blue in it. So we don't want lots. And we'll do exactly the same as before with the wax 22 and see if we can blend it. This is a good thing about having a test piece. You can just play with it. Susie the Swiss wood turner. Hi Mark, how you doing, bud? Question: what would happen if you were to add silver embellishing wax over this? Nothing, I don't think, Susie. I would imagine it would just fill in the grain that's left, but I wouldn't imagine anything tremendous would happen. So hopefully this is going to leave a little bit of the aqua in some parts of the red. Either that or it will take it all out, one of the two. Right, so let that dry off. We'll just buff that up. So you can just see some of that aqua over the top of that red in certain places. Just going to go over that with a bit more wax 22. Just try and buff that up a little bit. Definitely more successful than what we had the other night. Does the manufacturer not give guidance for use? Well, Stuart Farini has done some videos on it, but he's not actually used it as an embellishing wax. He used it more of a colour and paste, which I think is what it's more designed for. So I'm not sure if it's actually designed for embellishing, but as you can see, it's a little bit of work, but you can use it for embellishing. So as you can see, you can actually use it as an embellishing wax. You can just see the hint of the aqua in there, and there, and there. Not so much there, but you can see it there. So yeah. So as you can see, you can use it as an embellishing wax without a problem, which is much more successful than what we had the other night. But it does dry really, really quick. That's the disadvantage of the rainbow waxes. They dry really quick. As soon as you put them on, they're dry virtually straight away. So no, I'm pleased with that. That's worked, so I'm happy with that. A bit more comfortable with those rainbow waxes now. I still do like the oh, what do you call it? The embellishing waxes, because you do get some nice finishes with the rainbow wax. And I've been using them for quite a while now, so I can use them quite well. Yeah, that's a good point, Douglas. You might be able to mix it with a wax to make it more stay wetter long. What's the ingredients in them? It says apply to sealed or unsealed wood with a cloth, allow to dry about 5 minutes, then buff to a gloss finish. Use a clean, soft cloth. Well, if you left it 5 minutes, it'd be like rock. Quick dry metallic wax for wood. So I'm sure if you left it for 5 minutes, you wouldn't buff it off. C base for colour. And they're all exactly the same. So some nice colours. Brian sent me these to have a play with. We've got green, which is a real nice green, real rich green that is. That red I just put on there, which is a real nice red. Looks more pinky on there, but it is a nice deep red. We've got vivid blue, which is a nice colour. Well, that one's not been opened yet, so I'm not going to open it. You can see there the colour, but really nice colour. And then obviously the aquid blue that I've just used, which is quite a nice colour again. Again on blacks, they really do stand out on blacks. So yeah, it's just like anything. It's just getting used to them. Yeah, well, when we tried the other night, we used a water or a real damp cloth to try and remove the excess, and it took everything off the piece. So maybe we used a bit too much water. But like I say, Emma came up with the idea, or Emma was in the chat, and she came up with using the Wax 22 to use it to cut them back. And that worked. Well, that's what I've done tonight. I've used Wax 22, put it on, and then use Wax 22 to take off the excess. And it's left behind the lower grain or the softer grain parts, which has worked really well. Still a few little bits where you can still see bits of the red, but that might be where I haven't sanded it quite perfect. End of that's only a test piece, so. But it's definitely better than what we had the other night, definitely. So I think with a little bit more practice, we may be able to crack it. So yeah, definitely worth more playing around with. So that's the rainbow waxes anyway. There are other colours. I think there's 10 colours, 9 colours. So well worth a look. No, Glenn, I'm not making an actual piece, man. I'm just playing around with some colours, just to fill in some time. Basically, I was going to go on TikTok, and TikTok didn't want me to go live for some reason, so I thought I'd do it on here. So, right, so that's the that one. I have seen Stuart use the rainbow waxes with a palette knife as well, so you can actually put them on really thick and leave them to dry. So that might be worth something in the future playing with. But again, it's just play, and see how you get on with things. Hi, Lewis, how you doing, bud? Sack then. Thanks, Glyn. And like I say, rainbow waxes do some nice vivid colours. That's what I like about them. Right, so let's turn that off in. Ready for our next trial or next play. I think it's a piece of ash, Douglas. It's just a piece I've been using for, well, it was bigger than this. That was nearly 12 inches across when I started. So I've basically just been practicing with it. So quickly sand this up. No, Glenn, no. What do I want that for? Gives it that special effect when it's spinning. Watch the flex, Glyn. Watch the flex. OCD. That's funny, Mark. So did I. I sold 7 tins on Thursday night. Right. Let's just quickly sand it up. I'm not going to comment on that one, Glenn. Right, so this one, we all know that red is hard to get. A nice, deep red on our piece. So, I've got a couple of different reds here that I'm going to try and see if I can get a nice, rich red, whoops, on them. So, 3 different products, which I will show you in a second when I get a pair of gloves on. sanded to 400 grit. Douglas, sorry. Right, so the 4 products I have is this red that again Brian sent me to test. This is like a paste which I put in my resin. It's quite thick, so I don't know how that's going to work. And then I have some food colouring, so I'm going to see what I get with that. That one I think I might have to sand and seal before, and that one as well, because that's an acrylic colour, but I don't know how thin it is. It's quite thin, so that might soak into the grain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a small area with each. This one here, I'm going to do a little bit where it's sand and sealed and a little bit where it's not. So we're going to do the first one with no sand and sealer. Hopefully that's going to soak into the grain. And like I say, red is a real hard, vibrant colour to get. But we'll see how it comes out. As you can see there, straight away, it's gone pinky. But hopefully with the more colours, more layers, we can gradually build up the depth of the colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put underneath, just right underneath it what it is. And then we'll come back to that in a second, give that another coat. So the second one's going to be this paste. It's an opaque blood red paste. And this is quite thick because I use it in resins. So it's more of a... Okay, see how dark it is. So I'll just write under that one what it is. And now I'll try the food colouring. Ooh, I look more orange than I do red. Better shake that up a bit better. Been sat in a drawer for a while, so. So let's try this one. Oh my goodness, looks more orange. It's definitely red. It definitely says red on the bottle. Unless the colour's gone off. Don't know. Does food colouring go off? Not sure. So this little bit here we're going to sand and seal. And we'll try the opaque again. Because it's quite a thick paste, it might look better if it's actually sitting on the surface rather than soaking in. Hello Pete, how you doing bud? Hope you had a good weekend. Right, so let's just get that paste back. We'll just try that again. On a bit of the sand and sealed. Definitely spreads easier. That has got a nice colour, that has. It's a bit pink around the edges, but obviously if you gave it a nice coat, that would come out really, really nice red. So let's just give it a second coat. Now that is red. That's a real nice red. Oh, I might have to do a project with that. That is nice. Real nice. That'd look even better when it's got some sand and sealer over the top of it. So let's just put this second coat. That is really dark. That's more of a sort of black currant red than, but like I say, it's quite concentrated. So the food colour I'm not going to worry about because that's more orange for some reason. But it may be, it's been in the cupboard for quite a while, so it might be that it's just gone off with the heat. So those two reds, I really do like those. Let's get a bit of tissue. Just let them dry. I'll give them a coat of sand and sealer, and we'll see how they comes up. See how it comes out. Hi Wesley, how you doing? Do 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 do. So let's just give it a coat of sand and sealer and see how they hold up to the sand and sealer. Well, the one with the sand and sealer is taken off straight away, look. So obviously we don't sand and seal before. And it's taken that one off as well. So the paste doesn't soak into the wood very well at all, as you can see. But that one, the one Brian sent me, really does work well. That would look really nice once that's sealed and polished up, and that's a real nice red. I like that. So don't forget, Brian's got a live cellulose sand and sealer marker. Was cellulose. Don't forget, Brian's got a live at 8 o'clock tonight. So in 30 minutes, Brian will chuck his live link in a little bit, just so we all know where to go. So let's just get a little bit of wax out, just put over the top of that, just see how that comes out. I'm sure that'll look very nice, or that will shine, but we'll see. Just going to do that one little bit there. Premiere, Glyn. He's doing a premiere at 8 o'clock. And you'll be so happy because he's using Yorkshire grey in it. Yeah, true. Yeah, because acrylic is water-based, so yeah, that's the trouble. Acrylic paint is water-based. Oh, God, I got it on my wall. Oh man. Yeah, so acrylic paint is water-based. So will it took it off? I don't know. But that both of the pastes that I use for the resin, whether I sand and sealed the wood first or after, it's still taken both off. But like you say, an acrylic sand and sealer on those two may have been better. But we'll have to try it again. That is a real nice spread. I like that. It's nice and dark. And I think if you was to spend a bit of time building up the layers, and then obviously putting a nice embellishing wax in there, that would look pretty cool. So I like those colours. They work well. I'm not sure about that red food colouring though. That's more orange than red. But like I say, it may be that they're a bit out of date because they have been sitting there for a little while, and maybe the heat has killed them off. So no, I like that. It's good. Right, so let's put them back in the cupboard. They got red handprints all over my cupboard. Try black embellishing wax on the red. Just for you, Brian. Just for you, because I know you love embellishing wax. Oh, not that one. That's a bit dry. Alright, so a little bit of black on the red. So it's like the reverse we just did. We just did black with red. Then we're going to do red with black. Robert, I have done a number of colouring. If I find that you want to maintain colour, I colour directly onto the wood and then seal with a spray. Yeah, you do. You lose some of your colour if you use a wipe for sure. But sometimes that looks nice with the fading of the colours being faded a little bit. So there we go. A little bit of black in that red. You can just see it. Can you see it? Yeah, you just see the little bit. It's not very prominent, but it's there. I think if you had the whole piece done in it, it'd look better. I like that. Really nice red. Thank you, Brian. Suppose you think you're being funny, do you, senior? Right, let's turn this off. And then we'll close it up, ready for Brian's live. You can see how deep that soaked in there. Look, it soaked in there quite deep. Hi, Roy. Right, that'll do. It's ready for our next test. But I'm going to close it there because Brian's premiere is in 25 minutes. So by the time you get a pee and a drink and God knows what else, it will be time. So Brian's put a link in several times. So Brian sends you all this stuff, Steve, to Steve, and he still doesn't listen to you. Question, Steve. Would leather stain work, or would it go deep into the wood? I don't know, Douglas, is the honest answer. I've never had any to try, so if you get a chance to try some, then try it and let us know, because it'll be worth knowing. Anytime, John. I always like to, at the end of the day, that's what the lives are all about, helping others. So like I say, just a quick pop-up live tonight. Just like I say, I was going to go on TikTok. For some reason, TikTok wouldn't let me go live. Just kept saying unable. So I thought, sod it. I'll just chuck up on YouTube. So it was a quick link up on the YouTube. Hope you all been over and checked out the. Oh man, can't even think of what they are. Fruit, mate. For the fruit video that everybody's taken part in. Would that other red have stayed on the wood if you had used spray on sand and cedar instead of rubber? Maybe, Susie. It may have done better. Obviously, being a spirit and the paste as a spirit has perhaps just diluted it and pushed it all off. But again, it's something we've got to try with. It may have been better if I diluted it and made it a bit thinner, so it could have soaked into the grain better. Would have maybe been better. But again, it's all trial and error. That's why I keep these pieces to play with and see how it goes. I don't have TikTok. No, I won't be before long. Don't know if it won't let me go live. Wesley, issue with leather dye is oil-based versus spirit-based. Oil-based would take longer to dry, so might soak in further. That's okay soaking in further as long as you don't want your bowl to be natural on the inside and you end up with bleeding marks on the inside. So again, if you're going to colour the inside the same, it doesn't matter. Douglas, great information, Steve. Thank you for your time. And no problem, that's not a problem at all. I was in the workshop anyway, messing around. I've been playing around with that vase. I'll just quickly show that again before I go. So this has had 6 coats now. Slight little modification, like I said. I've done them inside black now rather than the blue. I didn't like the blue, and I've just gently feathered over black over the edges. This has had 6 coats of clear coat. That'll now be left overnight, and then I'll have 3 more coats tomorrow before I go to work, and then by Wednesday it should have all the 12 coats, so then I can be left to the weekend to polish off. But it's actually you can see the shine starting to come on it. Still got a little bit of orange peely on it, nothing major though, but still a little bit. But I'll gradually build up the coats, and that will come out really nice, hopefully. Just got to hope I don't drop it when I pass it off, hey? But that'll be all right. Oh, there you go. The one Brian sent me can be filled with water, so it's cool. Thank you, Brian. Right, so I'm going to go over and check Brian's link out. His premiere is at 8 o'clock sharp. I shall see you there. Other than that, have a great week, guys. Speak to you soon. I'll see you Friday night for Battle of the Makers. Link will be going up later on in the week, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, have a great week. Speak to you soon. Take care, and bye for now. Good night. Thanks for coming and joining.
That's all, folks.